I can't imagine I finished this trail. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say. 2,194.3 miles. And they say she couldn't do it. Well, I did it. Now we have to go down. Oh my goodness. That is literally the thing that I'm worried about the most. This doesn't even count for 80 miles anymore, but now we have to go down this mountain. It's crazy. Oh gosh. Let's have a look at this aftermath of Katahdin summit. Looky, look who I met on top of Katahdin. It's Siesta. He's one of my amazing subscribers and a PCT thru hiker. And yeah, he just chilled here on Katahdin. And I was like, I know this guy. Do you have anything to say to people who want to thru hike next year?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Like, start eating ramen now so you can save some money.
What if they say, can't quit my job?
Well, you can always find another job.
Good. What if you say, my wife will not approve?
Now that's a tough one. Get a new
wife? Yeah, I just also say, just do it. Like, there's always going to be a new job. And
yeah, tomorrow's never promised.
Exactly. That's the big thing right there.
Yeah.
Cool. Bye.
Last 10 years, and he likes to climb.
Bought it. It's a 2020. I didn't hike in 2020. Did I tell you this story?
Just had to say goodbye to groceries. It's so surreal that this trip is over and that I'm not gonna see somebody that has been with me for so long. Like, she's such a friend. She's like my best friend. This is the part that people don't see, I guess. The heartache, you know, when you're done with a trail and then you lose your best friend in a way. Dog. River crossing. Woo. Wow.
Well, well. Hi, everybody. I'm back home, and as you can hear with my really sultry voice, I have gotten sick twice already since being home. And how many days have I been home? Like 9 days. That's it. I guess my body isn't really used to the bugs of the world, and so I've had like flu-like symptoms. But they've gone away and then they came back, so whatever. Anyway, so a little update on me. The first thing I want to talk about is actually the day of Katahdin and what it was like, and also what it was like to descend and really what happened afterwards. I mean, you saw some snippets or whatever you guys go, whatever you call it. So ultimately the day of Katahdin, it was really nice weather. It was colder in the morning, but got up to Katahdin. The hike up was no joke at all. I was really surprised with how intense it was with regard to the rock scrambling. When I went up Mount Katahdin, there were like 2 different sections where I felt it was really dangerous. Like I felt like I'm gonna fall off. And there was one in particular, and I couldn't stop thinking about that particular spot the entire hike up. I was thinking about how am I gonna get down. I was consumed with that spot and how to get back down. Also, as you saw, I had to wait for groceries. It took her a while to get up that rock scramble. And the way it works, you hike up like a pretty steep part for about a mile or so, and that's all rock scrambling. And then after that, it levels out and you hike for like a 1.6 miles, just kind of flat, but like it continuously goes slightly up, so you don't really feel the elevation. And then at the end, there's just a little oomph. So the hard part is really kind of at the big, like in the middle of the hike, and then at the end, it's not that difficult. So then when we got up to Mount Katahdin, to the actual sign, there were so many people there, and like I don't care if there's people, but it just kind of took away from the moment of enjoying your achievement, the things that you've done. It was really awkward to take a picture because everybody was waiting for a picture. I couldn't really be like emotional about it. I'm generally trying not to be emotional, but I wanted to, just experience the feeling of having accomplished something so amazing. But I wasn't really able to do that because I felt, it's just my feelings. It's not that anybody was pressuring me. It's just I felt really like pressured to just get pictures done quickly and not to be in people's way. The other thing is that day happened to be a ranger was right next to the sign. So we weren't allowed to do the climbing on the back of the sign. And that was so disappointing. Like we've seen all these hikers this year climbing on the sign and, posing their picture. And I understand why we can't climb it because the ranger said it breaks the sign and, if everybody goes on it. But it just is just one of those monumental moments, and you see all these pictures, and we wanted our picture, standing on the sign, and we couldn't. So that was the other thing that was so disappointing. And as I was standing next to it, I'm kind of just like, you see my stance. So I don't feel I have like a really great picture, and I wasn't really able to enjoy it as much as I could. But that doesn't take away from feeling accomplished, and it doesn't take away from having climbed the mountain, and it doesn't take away from my entire journey. Like that one moment that will not take away from it at all. So, but I kind of just wanted to share that because I think sometimes we have this expectation of this incredible moment, and then the moment is you're not able to have that moment because of other things that are in the environment. And so I felt a little bit, I felt disappointed. I didn't feel a little bit disappointed. I felt disappointed that I couldn't enjoy it the way I kind of imagined it all this time while hiking. After that, we attempted our descent because we did have a shuttle waiting for us. And that's the other thing. Like, I think if I had to do the climb of Mount Katahdin again, I would camp. I wouldn't stay in Millinocket because that way I could leave earlier to start the hike. The grocery started hers at 6:40 and I started mine at 7:15. And just being able to start the hike earlier would have helped not feeling rushed about a shuttle. And so I also felt, as we were hiking up, I felt rushed about the shuttle. So, you know, I arranged for the shuttle to come a little bit later as I was hiking up because I felt so rushed about it. So we started to descend and, you know, just trying to be gentle, be safe, because we have to now go down this crazy mountain and we have to go down this particular part that I've been worried about all this time while I'm hiking. I'm worried about how do I get down this particular spot. And then we're descending, and the descent is way easier, mainly because all I'm doing is butt slides. Like, I am getting on my butt and I'm sliding down the rock, getting on my butt, sliding. I am not risking like using my legs too much. I'm mostly using just like my body and butt sliding. And then I get to the spot that I've been worried about all that time. I take my pack off, I throw it down, and it was really easy not really easy, but it was so much easier than I had envisioned. And and that was it. That particular spot marked kind of the end of the rock scramble. And then we got down to the bottom of the mountain, and we had to wait for the shuttle. The shuttle was about half an hour late. The way it works, you have to somehow get out of the Baxter State Park, and there's usually shuttles, and the shuttle will be able to take you to Bangor. But our airplanes left from Portland, Maine. So a lot of the shuttles that I contacted didn't want to go to Portland because it's kind of a 3.5 hour drive. And they just don't want to do that. So I found a shuttle driver who drove us to Bangor, and then one of our trail angels actually was the trail angel who gave me the orange jacket, who met us at the Birches. I just contacted him and told him that I'm looking for a ride, and he offered to give us a ride, but he asked us to find a ride to Bangor. So we did find the ride to Bangor, and then he met us in Bangor, and then he drove us all the way to Portland. And big shout out to this particular trail angel. His name is Flower Boy. What a human being. Not only did he drive out of his way to take us to Maine, to Portland, Maine, because it was far, but he also met us with some Baxter beer, with some raspberries, with some cheese, and then he gave us like a bracelet, which I'm of course not wearing. He gave me an AT bracelet, and he gave one to groceries as well. And so he was just so wonderful, and I can't thank him enough. He just made the end of the hike so much more incredible. And then we got to the hotel in Portland, Maine, stayed the night. Next day, had to say goodbye to each other. You saw me crying. I was really, really distraught about it being the end of the hike. Distraught about separating from groceries, who has been by my side all this time. She's like a family member. Like, how can you not have this person near you who has been with you all this time? That day was probably the most depressing day for me. It was the saddest day for me. I didn't know how I would be able to function in society. I went to the airport, and in the airport there were a lot of smells, and there's a lot of people. And the biggest thing that I noticed is that a lot of people were complaining. And I felt the energy was, because it's an airport, so everybody is upset because airplanes are delayed and things like that. Our airplanes actually were delayed as well, but I didn't really care. But I felt a lot of negativity, a lot of complaining. It was just very busy, and I was a bit worried about how I was gonna deal with that in my life. Anyway, so I got home, and of course was met with Hurricane Ian. Nothing happened to my home. I live in Central Florida, so it went right through Central Florida, but it didn't do any damage to my home. It did some damage with regard to some water flooding to other people's houses, but not in my neighborhood, so I'm really thankful for that. And now I am getting back to work in 2 days. I already did a little bit of work, but actual work I'll be going back to work in two days, I believe. So that's really the update on me. I wanted again to say thank you to everybody who's been following me, everybody who's been supporting me. I'm extremely proud of what I've accomplished. I've been looking at the things that I've done. Some people make fun of being purists. Purist is somebody who hikes every single footstep of the Appalachian Trail, anything that's white blazed, and I did that. I did miss the section of where the zoo goes through in New York City because the zoo was closed, so I missed that 1 mile. But with regard to that 1 mile, I hiked every single white blazed trail, and I'm very, very proud of it. The other thing that I did is I hiked the entire trail with my backpack and with my equipment. There were 2 miles in Fontana Dam where I slack packed around around that lake. Other than that, I didn't slack pack at all. I didn't even slack pack going up Mount Katahdin, which I'm not sure was the right thing to do. So most hikers, what they do is they take a lot of their stuff out of their backpack, and then they just take their backpack and go up Mount Katahdin. And that's called slack packing, when you have almost nothing in your backpack, right? I decided not to do that because I wanted to be like authentic for myself. It has nothing to do with me thinking bad about other people. I don't care. Like, whatever you want to do, you do. And of course, as I'm hiking up this crazy rock scramble, I'm thinking to myself, was it really smart to not slack pack? I should have probably slack packed. So I'm definitely thinking that whoever's gonna attempt to do the part in Katahdin, like, it's okay to slack pack, even if you haven't slack packed the whole time. I didn't do it. I had my entire pack with me. I didn't have a lot of food because it was the end of the hike, but I had everything in my pack. So I had my quilt, my tent, I had my pad, and even though it wasn't necessarily the smartest thing to do, I still feel proud that I did it. I don't know, it's just a thing for myself. Yeah, I hiked the entire AT, I didn't skip any sections, and I did it with my pack, so I'm really, really proud of that. And I mean, I'm proud that I hiked the AT. That's crazy because, you know, people have these statistics about 20%, 30%. I have no idea what percentage it is. A lot of people drop out. We've seen lots of people drop out. So that's the other thing that we can all be proud of as an AT thru hikers. We've actually done it. We're part of the percentage that was able to do it. I am very proud that I did this without harming my body. I'm very proud that I didn't have any injuries. I had some aches, as you guys know. I had foot pain. I had a little bit of back pain. I had some knee problems at the very beginning of my hike, but overall my body is in really good shape, and I'm very proud that I was able to do this without injuring myself. That's really it. I am going to continue doing some videos. If it's something you're interested in, please continue to stay with me. I am also planning to hike the PCT. I didn't want to do it for another 3-4 years, but I probably will be doing it sooner, just because I'm really itching already to do that. The problem with that is finances. I don't have the funds to do the PCT anytime soon. I need to work very hard to save, and I need to also, I have a house, so I need to make sure that the house is taken care of while I am not in this area. So anyway, so there's a lot of stuff to think about. I'm not going to do the PCT next year. Groceries is thinking about doing it next year. So if you are thinking about, hey, who can I follow? Please follow Groceries at Adventure Quencher. She's planning to do the PCT next year. I will be doing it probably in 2 years. And in the meantime, I am planning to do other hikes, and I'm planning to do gear things, and whatever you want to know, please let me know in the comments if there's anything that you're interested in. I don't know what to say. Anyway, thank you again so much. It was such a pleasure to do this hike and have you guys along. You are amazing subscribers. I know every YouTube vlogger thinks that their subscribers are the best subscribers. I think mine are the best subscribers. So thank you so much, and stay tuned. I've got videos coming, so see you soon.